Hello, lovelies! Welcome, welcome, welcome to Module 3 of 2023's Sexy Selling. I'm excited. So, just catching up on my phone here. I got my phone so I can check comments. I got my notes. I got my vitamins. We should be good. We are learning a lot of language arts right now with my older two. And so I got my phone, I got my water, I got my notes, is translating to I got my noun and my pronoun, I got my verb and my adverb, yeah. Anyway, so in case you wanted to know all of that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see more people sharing the I'm in graphics. Thank you so much. Thank you. Your names are in the drawing, and we will be drawing coaching dollars and one-on-ones and all of the beautiful things tomorrow during Module 4. Okay? So tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. We will be here in this group for Module 4 on, I don't even know what tomorrow is, the 21st? Yes, the 21st. At 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Daylight Time, not Standard. Eastern Daylight Time. So, and all of this is available for replay through 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on September 26th. So after tomorrow's module, you'll have Friday to replay, you'll have Saturday to replay, Sunday to replay, Monday to replay, and part of Tuesday, most of Tuesday, to replay. So you can get all of the juice you can possibly get, and then this content actually comes down and it goes into my vault resonance. So, whoo! Let's get going! Okay. Who's tracking? Have you been through modules 1 and 2? Like I said on day 1, most people show up for day 1, and most people show up for day 4, and they miss the middle. And yesterday was important. Today is also very, very important. So if you're showing up and you're seeing this, even on replay, live, like wherever you're seeing this, freaking give yourself a squeeze, a pat on the back, and a squeeze. Just like a heck yes, girl. You are showing up for yourself. You are your biggest return on investment, and you are showing up for yourself, and it's freaking phenomenal. So, yes. Way to go. And I had some more I commits happen from Module 1, so that's exciting too, because that means you'll be seeing this. And even if you're on the replay, please comment as if you are live. I've been going through, I've been reading them, I've been responding to them, I've been reacting to them. I love them. So please do go ahead and comment as if you were live on the replay as well. So who sat with their homework from yesterday? Did you sit in contemplation about the different ways you have sold or been sold to? Did you take some space and maybe discuss it with your partner? I think that actually, thinking about that, I think Joni said that she had discussed it with her partner and some other entrepreneur friends, so that's really cool. So today we are looking at masculine and feminine energies, and hopefully in a way that you haven't heard it before. Maybe you have. If you've been in my world, there's going to definitely be extra pieces that you have not heard before today. So hang tight. If you've heard it, like I said, okay, yes. So when I say masculine and feminine energy, I do not mean binary. I do not mean non-binary. I don't mean anything in between. I don't mean male and female. I mean feminine and masculine. So your soul embodying this human skin suit has both masculine and feminine energies. All of creation has it. If you look at the yin and the yang of life, we have night to the day. We have sun to the moon. We have earth to water. Like there's a pairing all over the place, one being masculine energy, one being feminine energy. And contained inside of you, made in the image of a creator, that is both masculine and feminine, you will have both masculine and feminine energetics inside of you, regardless of whether you have uterus or had a uterus or not. So, that is what I mean when I'm talking about masculine and feminine. I'm talking about the energetics of masculine and feminine. tomorrow we're going to look specifically at a woman's cycle and how it has its own masculine and feminine energetics within the cycle. Like I said, bleeding or not, you have a cycle if you've ever had a uterus. Even if you haven't had a uterus in 50 years, you do still have a cycle that will happen. And within that cycle, there has to be that balance, that yin and yang balance. So you have masculine energies within it and you have feminine energies within it. We're going to look briefly at that tomorrow. Time will not permit me to tell you all of the things that come in, other courses of mine like La Femme, but we will look at it briefly tomorrow in regards to selling, because this is sexy selling. Okay, and let's see here. The beauty of selling with your masculine and feminine energetics in regards to your cycle is that selling then becomes fun, becomes easy, it becomes flowy. And when you have maybe had some sticky energy around selling in the past, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to show up, but I don't want to. I'll show up anyway. And we're going to look at a lot of that today. And you show up anyway, and it's like, I don't want to, but I'm supposed to. It's not fun. It's not easy. It's not flowy. When you use the blueprint of your cycle to decide when you show up, how you show up when you show up, it takes all of that load off. It takes all of that stress off. And it's just like, I get to fully be in my flow, in my feminine and in my masculine, in this beautiful divine state, in this beautiful empowered state rather than a disempowered state. And I get to just put my things out there and see what happens. And it's so amazing. It's awesome. So when I think that, you've probably heard this if you've been in my world for any kind of time, but when I think of masculine and feminine energetics, I think of a house. So the masculine energy would be the foundation and the walls and the roof and all of the structural pieces that make a house sound, that make a house safe. The masculine is very, very concerned with safety. They're concerned about their safety and they're concerned about the safety of others. And that's a beautiful thing. The masculine creates this safe structure so that the feminine can flow within it. They can sing in it. They can host parties in it. They can just relax alone in it and read a book. All of these different pieces happen inside of this house as the individual or the family flows in and out of it. They always have this safe structure that's protection from the cold, from the heat, from the wind, from the rain, from all of the things. This is the picture that I like to present of what masculine and feminine energetics actually gets to look like. Oh my gosh, hi Marlene. I'm so glad you're here. And so I want to tell you a story. And maybe this story has played out in your home. It's definitely played out in my home. Thankfully, not in recent years. I love that. Oops, sorry. I just kicked you. The tripod, I guess, not you. So I want you to think of a woman who is home all day. Maybe she has kids, maybe she doesn't, but she's home all day. She cooks. She cleans. If it's summer, maybe she has a garden that she's tending to. Maybe she's doing some deeper cleaning and she's going through closets and she's getting rid of things and she's organizing and getting back into, the nitty-gritty corners that maybe don't see the light of day all of the time. And so she has worked hard all day long, right? And if she's chasing kids while she's doing all of these things, whoo! Wow, that's even harder that she's been working all day long. And then her husband comes home and he just hits the couch. And yet she's still in the kitchen, maybe finishing up the supper pieces. And then she puts it on the table and he comes and he eats. And then he goes and he hits the couch again and he's maybe playing Xbox or he's watching TV or he's scrolling on his phone. And she's clearing the table. And she's washing the dishes. And she's putting the leftovers away. And she's cleaning up the giant mess that it took in order to cook a meal from scratch. Maybe she had previous messes that didn't get cleaned up earlier in the day from, I don't know, a bread baking session or something along those lines. Like, she's worked all day long, and now he's home, who's also worked all day long, but he's just chilling in the living room. How do you think she's feeling by now? And it's an open concept. I want you to imagine like an open concept floor plan. And so she can see him from the kitchen as she's cleaning up, and maybe she's, picking things up and putting things down a little bit louder than she needs to. Just kind of fuming in her own little world, and he's just oblivious to it. Shooting daggers at him. She's angry. She's just so mad that he could possibly just come home and do nothing after she's worked her butt off all day and she still has work to do. Like, who does he think he is? And then her programming takes over and she gets a hold of herself and she's like, it's okay. He worked all day. He's a provider. I'm made to serve him. And so she should just get over herself and be in gratitude, blah, 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 blah. And then she gets mad all over again. Who said that I just get to be the provider and I have to be in gratitude all the time over this? Who said? Have you seen a scene like this? Maybe you've seen it, a Hollywood portrayal of it, or maybe it has actually played out in your home. Has this actually been something that you are very, very familiar with in your life somehow, some way? I'm super curious. What is actually going on here is that the man has been in his masculine at work all day long. He was in his masculine to get up in the morning. He was in his masculine to go to work. He was in his masculine as he worked and provided all day long. In his masculine to come home. He's in his doing energy all day long. And he comes home to this place of rest that she's created, this clean home, this home that smells like home-cooked meal. And he just wants to be. He just wants to lay back and rest in his feminine. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Ashley. I'm so glad you're here. He just wants to be in his feminine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when a woman is in her wounded masculine, we can't handle that. Because if I'm still in my masculine and I'm still doing and I'm still cleaning and I'm still picking up, you should be too. How dare you go ahead and go relax in your feminine? And this is where that wounded masculine woman becomes, the woman that Proverbs talks about, where you don't even want to be in the same house with her. You'd rather be on the roof. You cannot stand to see anyone sitting around doing nothing, especially if you're still working. Some of us maybe grew up with this mother or this grandmother, and this is the programming you have, but you don't really know where it came from, and it's just because it's what you saw. It's what was modeled to you. And you get to make the decision. This was my reel yesterday. You get to make the decision to shift that. And honestly, this is part of how we end up being more sick across the board as women than men. Because men go and they go all day, and then they come home and whether they understand this conceptually or not, they come home and they feel totally okay, mostly, to just be in their feminine and stop. When you can balance these energies in your daily life, you will begin to heal that wounded masculine. It's okay to just be done at the end of the day. I had this wild concept a couple of years ago. It was more than that, but it was like, as a mom, as a stay-at-home mom, as a cooking from scratch, canning, fermenting, sourdoughing stay-at-home mom, I could literally go from the time I wake up in the morning at 6-ish until my head hits the pillow at 11 at night. But it was not sustainable, and it actually did damage to my adrenals in a big way that I'm still healing. And I had this revelation. It was like, if I was at a 9 to 5, I would have a time of the day where I would be done. Well, I'm not at a 9 to 5, but maybe I should implement a time of the day to be done. And so I decided that no matter what was done or wasn't done, from that point forward, I was going to be done with my workday at 7 p.m. Which, that's a long workday. That's a 13-hour workday, right? But I finally had to do that because there was no world in which I was going to be given rest. I had to create that space for myself. And in so doing, inadvertently, I was healing that wounded masculine inside of me, even though I didn't even know what masculine and feminine energetics were at that point. So when you can begin to balance those energies in your business will take off. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, that itches. Okay. Whew. So I cannot tell you how many times I have said, enough. I've done my stories, I've done my post, I've done my reel, and I walk away. I might go play with the kids. We might completely go out of service and go camping for the weekend. I might just leave my phone in the house and go outside and put my toes in the grass and just ground for an hour or something like that. And then I come back in and oh my gosh, somebody's bought something. But it's when I do that with intentionality. When I'm on my phone and I'm just like, okay, I gotta get this up and I gotta get this up and I gotta get this up and okay, you want food and did you brush your teeth? Okay. And I gotta get this up and I gotta take care of that. And oh, hey, I could still shoot an email off tonight. Oh, you need to lay down, please. Be still, be quiet. I could still do, and I could still do, and I could still do, and pretty soon it's 11 o'clock and I haven't made a single sale, even though I've been working my tail off since 1 p.m. Versus, I'm going to work very focusedly from 1 to 5, and then I'm going to close the phone. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to go be in my feminine, go take a bath, enjoy the meal that I made, play with my kids. I might get back to my phone tonight. It might be in the morning and oh, look at that. Mama made money. Mama made money. I can't tell you how many times this has happened. And when I do it with that intentionality of like, okay, I am done with the masculine piece of my day. I am going to go be in my feminine now. That's when money actually does roll in big ways. Like, it's so freaking fun. It's so fun. It's so cool. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Ooh, excuse me. So part 1, we've got 2 parts for you today, is do the masculine things, like put the offers out there, in balance with your feminine being. So go ahead and put part 1 in the comments. Do the things in balance with your feminine being. If you're silent Sammy and you're not putting anything out there, you're too much in your feminine being. In theory. If you're clingy Janie and you're just go, let me put another post out, let me put another post out, let me send an email, let me send another email, let me put another post out, more stories! Oh, I should go live too! On and on and on and on. Oh, I'll go message so-and-so, and I'll go message so-and-so, and I'll go message so-and-so, and I'll see if they want my thing too. You're too much in your masculine doing and not enough in your feminine being. So the balance of these two looks like Sexy Sarah, and I got a little self-conscious today about that. I was like, okay, we'll call it Sexy Stella, not me. Sexy Stella. So you do the masculine things like putting the offers out there, and then you walk away and you go lean back into your feminine receiving energy. Let me give you this in a bedroom concept. In a very common position, the woman is laying back and the man is doing most of the work. Right. If she's like trying to do all the work and he's trying to do all the work at the same time, it doesn't work. And if the goal here is to, produce something beautiful, a child, and you're both trying to do the work at the same time, you're going to end up clashing, you're going to end up hurt, possibly. So one of them, and it could be either one in this particular example, has got to lean back and be in their receiving energy for a while the other one is in their masculine doing energy. And then they can switch, but if they're both trying to receive it or both trying to give at the same time, it doesn't work so well. If they're both trying to receive at the same time, ain't nothing happening. So hopefully this is landing for you and you're never going to forget this analogy. Okay. So I want to present something else to you. Have you ever heard this saying that what you give a woman, she will multiply? Go ahead and say what you give a woman in the comments if you have heard this saying or concept. If you give her a house, she'll give you a home. If you give her groceries, she'll make you a meal. And I'm not trying to put, blanket statements on gender roles of women. Just in general, this is how the saying goes. If you give her sperm, she'll give you a baby. And so on. But if you apply this to masculine and feminine energies, it's a whole lot less chauvinistic. What you give feminine energy, she will expand. It will expand. What the masculine puts into feminine energy will expand it. Whatever it is. So I want to suggest to you that the conscious is the masculine and the subconscious is the feminine. The conscious masculine energy impresses on the subconscious ideas, feelings, thoughts, and then the subconscious percolates on that. Mary pondered these things in her heart. The subconscious, the feminine, ponders these thoughts and feelings that the masculine has given it, the conscious has given it, and then produces or manifests an expanded version of that. So if you're selling like clingy Janie, just because it's what you know, but you feel icky doing it, in your conscious, you feel icky. And so you're impressing that icky on your subconscious, who's percolating on it, and will reproduce clients that feel icky when you're being sold to them. Now, if you're selling like clingy Janie and you feel great about it, consciously, you'll probably reap some pretty great clients. I just didn't feel great about selling like clingy Janie, and so it didn't work for me. But if your conscious is like, this is awesome, I love sending it 50 DMs a day, you'll probably have great results. It just didn't work for me because I felt icky doing it. In 14, 15, and 16, I needed the sale so that I could come home full time. Consciously, I needed the sale, telling my subconscious, we need this, telling my subconscious, we need this, telling my subconscious, we need this, who expanded that into, we gotta hunt them down. And the clients felt hunted until they ran away. They would even go buy from someone else. I would give such a stellar presentation. They'd be like, wow, this is awesome. They'd go buy the thing from somebody else and come tell me about it 3 or 6 months later. Be like, you know that thing you told me about? Yeah, I bought it from my aunt. I'm like, did you miss the part where I was selling it? Energetically, they just didn't want to get in the same boat with me. It wasn't going to work. So my feminine or my subconscious expanded those feelings of need. Okay, I already covered that. It was so discouraging. And yet I was the one that was creating that reality with what my conscious was giving my subconscious. Is this landing? Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Let me just check my comments here. I hope this is landing. Throw me some lightning bolts if it's landing. So the subconscious of feminine will never be in charge of the thought, feeling, or decision, but it will accept whatever it is given and make it reality. Make it bigger. Make it more. So this is where your masculine gets to lead in that. You decide your thoughts. You decide your feelings. You decide your actions. You decide if you're going to post stories and a reel and a live video today and then walk away. Deciding to walk away and go be in your feminine energy so that you can receive is still a conscious decision. It's still a masculine decision. So the thoughts, feelings, ideas that you dwell on, your masculine decides what those are, gives it to the feminine, and then the feminine gets to expand that into good, beautiful desires if you're being conscious about what your conscious is giving it. Are you being particular about the thoughts, feelings, desires, and ideas that your masculine is giving your feminine? Or are you just out there like, oh, Sarah said that we're worse than the 30s. Oh no! And now your conscious mind is telling your subconscious mind that things are worse than they were in the middle of the Great Depression. Oh no! What's the subconscious going to do? It's going to expand that problem. You may have had a fantastic business making, I don't know, 2, 3, 5, 10K a month. And I told you that currently with inflation rates, we're making less than in the Great Depression. And all of a sudden your subconscious is like, uh-oh, we better not spend anything. But instead of spending less, you're going to end up making less. So I don't want you to go there with your thoughts. I want you to consciously choose, well, gee, let's go do some research on how many millionaires have been made in the midst of a recession. Because there's tons. I could do that. I could be one of those people that becomes a millionaire in the midst of a recession. Let's go learn how to do that. Oh, Sarah says build a personal brand in the online space. It's going to be a necessary thing in the next few years. Well, let's do that. How do I build a personal brand in the online space? I don't know, but Sarah's teaching how. Okay. Conscious to subconscious. We need to build a personal brand in the online space. Subconscious goes, oh, okay. How do we do that? We go hire Sarah. She'll teach us how. We'll have a personal brand by 2025 like she recommends. We'll have money coming in, ideally, so that whatever happens, we have multiple streams of income. Fantastic. Let's do it. You see? What you consciously choose to dwell on, your subconscious just makes it bigger. Which is why you've got to be so particular with these pieces. So I'm kind of running you through a gamut, and I really hope that everybody that watched Module 1 watches this. Because I don't want to put you into a state of fear. I don't want to put you into a state of... But it's kind of a multi-piece walkthrough of what your body can do. What did it do on Monday? Joni point blank said it was kind of like, oof. And I really hope she watches Module 3 because it's going to teach her that we get to consciously make a decision with the information. Those were just facts. That's all it was. I gave you no feelings about it. I gave you no thoughts about it. I gave you no ideas about it. I gave you numbers. What you chose to give your subconscious will be expanded on. And it's okay if you freaked out on Monday and yesterday. It's okay. You can override it. It's totally okay. We've just replaced it with the conscious thoughts of, let's go see what millionaires were made in recessions. Could I do something that would bring in income? Yeah. Could I do something that would bring in multiple streams of income? Yeah. I could build the personal brand in the online space like Sarah said. What do we learn about our brain? Telling it what if, asking it why not me? Why not me become a millionaire in the midst of a recession? Why not? What if I built a personal brand in the online space and over the course of 5 or 10 years became a millionaire or sooner because I took Sarah's advice and built a personal brand in the online space? What could that look like? These are the conscious masculine thoughts you want to feed that subconscious feminine. Let me see if you guys are throwing lightning bolts because comments are not working on my device up here. Okay. I hope this is landing. Okay. So I had the most amazing revelation prepping for this module regarding scripture. So Paul in Ephesians, pretty sure it's Ephesians, says something along the lines of the man is the head of the wife. What if we sub those with feminine and masculine, or conscious and subconscious? Does it give you kind of a different perspective? Me, who has grown up and all through my 20s was very much in various religious circles that were pretty, the man is the head of the house. We always forgot the woman is the neck and she could turn the head any way she wants part, right? What if It's actually the concept, or as I have studied scripture over the last 10 years, every scripture has at least 4 meanings, if not more. It has the obviousness of what's in black and white. It has a spiritual meaning. It has a millennial meaning. Usually it has a then meaning, whatever the culture was when Ephesians was written meaning. It has so many different ways that it can be taken and used. What if this is one of them? So between translations and understandings and the many different meanings that you can pull from something, what if Paul meant something along the lines of the masculine is the head of the feminine, in that what the masculine feeds the wife, she expands. What the masculine feeds the feminine, it expands. And so, in so saying, it would be like the masculine is the head of the feminine, directing it in the thought, in the idea, in the feeling, so that then the feminine expands on what is given. Is this like a mind expansion moment? Am I bending your brain here? It bent mine. I had to just sit with that. I was like, I wrote it, and then I sat and I thought about it and I contemplated it, and I was like, this does make sense. This is cool. So when it comes to selling, remember that how you feel about what you're selling and how you feel about how you're selling it will be expanded on by your internal feminine, by your subconscious. If we recap our 2 parts today, we have the do of the masculine things, then do the masculine things and then walk away so you can be in your feminine so that you can actually receive. This is why and part 2, be aware of and hyper intentional with what your masculine is feeding to your feminine. This is our recap here, because she's going to expand on it. If it's bad, she's going to expand on it. If it's great, she's going to expand on it. This is why dynamic boost is going to be such an up level, no matter if you're a novice when it comes to the energetic scale or if you've been using it to navigate life for years. Dynamic boost is going to be across the board a transformational course when you have this understanding of conscious and subconscious. So it brings you back to the intentional pieces you're feeding your feminine daily so that she can expand upon what you actually desire. It's so freaking powerful. So dynamic boost is 111 right now. And like I said already, it's going to be we're going to start October 1st and it's going to be 30 days long of actively climbing through the energetic scale so that we can program that subconscious, that feminine, with some really powerful thoughts and feelings rather than operating on default, consuming the news, letting the masculine of the news feed your subconscious and letting your subconscious expand on the news. Whew! Don't do that. That's not a wise choice. I say that with my kids all the time. Is that a wise choice? Are you making wise choices? Anyway, let me get a drink here really quick. So that actually concludes our module 3. Please do share the I'm in graphic so that we can get your name in that drawing next week. Sorry, not next week, tomorrow. We will be doing that drawing actually tomorrow during module 4. And module 4 is happening again at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel as today. The YouTube replays are available, so you can 2x it. Somebody mentioned today that Facebook's letting us 2x replays now, and I haven't figured out how yet, but that's really cool. Kristen's here. Hi, girl. And so now I am actually going to move into some selling portions of the day. So if you feel complete with what we covered just now, you are free to go. If you would like to hear some more ways that you could come closer into proximity with me, I would love for you to stay. So I did just mention Dynamic Boost. It's 111 right now to jump into that 30 days of climbing, actively climbing through the energetic scale. And I want to talk to you about some things we haven't talked about yet. The first one being the sacred critic. I mentioned it, but we haven't really talked about it. So the sacred critic actually arrives in the feminine half of your cycle. And like I said, we're going to look at masculine and feminine halves of our cycle tomorrow. But she has a very disempowered masculine energy, kind of like the wife that we looked at in the story example today. She has a very disempowered masculine energy. And so she shows up in the feminine half of your cycle, and with her disempowered masculine, she just beats the snot out of your feminine. And it's not fun. But through the sacred critic, we've learned how to love her, how to harmonize with her, and ultimately alchemize her from the nag to the sacred critic to the friend that you've missed. And so it's in pre-sale right now for $777 if you just wanted to be like, yep, I'm in. It's actually pre-sale. It's a really good price. Or you can get a 2-pay option for $555 if you would like. You can get a 3-pay option for $370 and 33 cents. You can get a 4-pay option for $277 if you wanted to. So those are just some different ways to kind of lock in your spot for the sacred critic when it does come around. I have learned that they need, that payment plans need to be complete before we begin the program. And so with that in mind, because I'm offering a 4-pay option, the sacred critic's not going to happen for a minimum 3 months, if not 4 months. So just keep that in mind, that you have some spaciousness to make some decisions on the sacred critic, but these prices are not going to last. So if you're like, yeah, that lady that shows up during PMS, I don't like her. I want to talk to her. I want to alchemize her into my friend. The sacred critic is definitely a place for you. If you'd like to learn all the ins and outs of how you have a masculine half of your cycle and a feminine half of your cycle, we're going to touch on it tomorrow, but we have an hour tomorrow, and I have a 4 or 5 module program where I talk about that. So time will not permit me to tell you all of the things about that tomorrow, but just know that that's coming inside In Flow next year. I know it's a little ways away, and also it's almost October. It's not that far. So in Flow, we're going to deep dive and get all of the juice on cycle syncing, and I do mean all of the juice on cycle syncing inside In Flow. It's going to look at the masculine and feminine halves of your cycle. It's going to look at nourishment for your cycle phases. It's going to look at intimacy for your cycle phases. It's going to teach you all of the things that health class ideally would have taught you about your body and didn't. Like we're moving into this being the mecca of cycle syncing. It's going to be all of the pieces of cycle syncing inside one place called In Flow. And so it's $3,333 pre-sale just to jump in and buy it. But because it's at least 6 months away, you can get a 7-month or a 7-pay plan at $476 a month for 7 months before we open that up. So my guess is it's going to be March-ish that we actually open In Flow. So if you're like, I have just been waiting for the place to get all of the cycle syncing everything, In Flow would be the place to get all of the cycle syncing everything. So you could jump in at that membership for, what did I say? $476 for those 7 months, and you would automatically be in Flow, or you could do FemFlow. So FemFlow, you have instant access to 12 programs on cycle syncing for 12 months. It is a 12-month commitment of $333 per month, but you would automatically be in Flow. So you automatically, as soon as you make your first $333 payment, you have 12 cycle syncing programs at your fingertips. And then when In Flow happens in March-ish, you'll automatically be in Flow, and you'll have continued access to it through the end of your 12-month commitment, as well as the other 12 programs. Everybody that just buys Inflow will only have access to Inflow for the 6 to 10 weeks that we run it. So, Femflow is a fun place to be, and it's only $333 per month. Like, it's a steal. It really is. Alrighty. And then, of course, there's Resonance, my vault. So with Resonance, you would automatically be in Inflow, obviously. You would automatically be in the Sacred Critic, obviously. You would automatically be in Dynamic Boost, all the things. Everything that's in the vault you would have access to. So when this program comes down on the 26th, you'd have access to it inside of Resonance. You could hit replay on Sexy Selling and take notes, or just memorize the entire program. Like whatever it is that, you know, works for your brain, you'd have access to it for those 12 months that you're inside of Resonance. So everything that's in the vault you'd have Food and Flow that we ran this last summer, how to nourish your body by cycle phase. You'd have Energetic Escort, talking about how to climb that energetic scale. Dynamic Boost isn't going to really tell you how, you're just going to have action steps each day. But if you want to like get into the nitty-gritty meat of the energetic scale, Energetic Escort is already inside that vault. In Resonance, you also have, I keep getting that, I'm so sorry. In Resonance, you also have every live program, like I said. So, Inflow, Sacred Critic, Dynamic Boost, anything else that comes up in the next year. The Fae Gaze that I've mentioned the last couple of days. The launch sequence, live launch sequence by cycle phase, that would be included. So all of these pieces would be included inside of Resonance. Oh, it's such a good deal. Oh my gosh. And then you also get the VIP day every single month, which is tomorrow. So you could jump into Resonance today and automatically, like day one, basically would be a VIP day, which would be super cool because you'd have instant access to myself and the other ladies in there. You can mastermind with us. You can ask questions on specific cycle phase things or specific selling things like, oh my gosh, Sarah, I have this network marketing company. I desire blah, blah, blah. What's your recommendation on getting there? And we can jump right into that with the VIP day tomorrow. That'd be so cool. So all of that is $999 per month. It is a 12-month non-negotiable commitment. However, from now until September 26th when this closes, or until the next 3 slots are filled, you can lock in your price at $888 per month. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And if you wanted to, you know, throw a couple credit cards at it or something and pay in full, you can also pay in full for the whole thing at $10K and just be paid for the 12 months that you have access to everything. So that's always an option as well. And then there's Resonance Gold. So that's everything that's in Resonance. And then once a month, you and I get to have our own laser coaching call, just the 2 of us. And so normally that's $1,444 per month or $14,444 to pay in full. But again, the first 3 people that jump into Resonance Gold, or this expires on the 26th. I keep hitting my water here. This expires on the 26th, but the first 3, or whoever between now and the 26th, can come in at $1,222 or $12,222 paid in full if you so desire. So I can't wait to see who's next coming into Resonance. It's going to be so good. And then I do have a really special, so if you're still watching, you're really happy you're still watching. A really special offer for you with a one-on-one coaching package. A one-on-one coaching package. So I really like Marco Polo. I know some people use Voxer, some people use Telegram. I don't know if Telegram does video, though. Yeah, I think it does. Anyway, I really like Marco Polo. It's a video messaging app. And so I have Marco Polo on the go packages. So it's not a sit down call with you and I on Zoom. It's Marco Polo in your back pocket Monday through Friday. It's actually Monday through Thursday now. Sorry. We have school all day on Friday. I forgot. So you have access to me Monday through Thursday for sure. If I can pop in on Friday, I will. But for sure Monday through Thursday. And you can ask anything you want to ask. You can ask on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I will get to it on Monday. You can be like, Sarah, my mom showed up and we don't have a good relationship and X, Y, and Z happened and I just really want to move through this and work through this and move this energy out of me. And we can do that inside of Marco Polo. You can come in and be like, I really need a brainstorming session on this piece of my brand. And we can have a brainstorming session on that piece of your brand. You can come in and say, I have this limiting belief that people just will never buy from me. And we can work through that limiting belief that people just will never buy from you. All of that inside my Marco Polo on the go packages. And I do have Zoom packages too. But for Marco Polo, it's Monday through Thursday. You pop in with what you need. I pop in when I can, and we work through stuff. And it's so flowy. I love how flowy it is. So normally it's $1,111 per month, and you have to have a 3-month package or a 6-month package with those. Until the 26th, I am offering it with unlimited spots. Like if 15 of you decide to do this, okay, great. We have 15 that decide to do it. I'm offering $777 per month for a 6-month package. So normally it's $1,111, and through the 26th, I'm offering 6-month packages at that $777 mark. So super excited about that. I can't wait to see who comes into that space. If you have questions about any of these, please just reach out in Messenger and I will answer any questions that you have. If you want a link for something and you're like, Sarah, I can't find the link for Dynamic Boost, just ask me in Messenger and I would be oh so happy to get you any link that you desire. So I will see you tomorrow. Share that I'm in graphic. I'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I hope this was amazing. Enjoy the replay.